Sure. Thank you so much, Sunbelt Conference, for giving us this opportunity today, and thank you to all the media that's involved in this, because no matter what we do, unless it's told through your pen and through your story, it almost didn't happen. So thank you for being here today. I feel like we're coming off a roller coaster ride from last year's season, as far as we started the season 0-6, which is a little bit uncharacteristic and unpleasant. Then we got in conference, and we managed in this great 14-team conference to end up second behind Marshall, who we didn't get an opportunity to play. And then we got in to the Sunbelt tournament, and that's where our ultimate goal, what we work for, we try to win that tournament, of course, and get in the NCAA tournament. And we didn't reach that goal. We lost in the tournament. But then we got the second win, and we came back in the WNIT, and we ended up making history for Troy University and making it to the Fab Four and playing some great basketball, our best basketball down the stretch there. So it was quite a roller coaster. And going into this season, I don't know what to predict. We have a completely different team. I think that the Sunbelt Conference coaches were generous in voting us second in the preseason polls, in that we only have 3 returners, one that had any starting minutes. And we lost 90% of our scoring and 90% of our rebounding. I'm certainly not poor-mouthing, because I believe we're a really good basketball team. We're going to be fighting for another championship this year. But at this point, nothing is proven. We're fighting hard for culture things. We're fighting hard for our own identity. This team is completely different from last year's Troy team. Our post players are bigger, more back to the basket than those running, leaping, athletic, all those things type of smaller post players we had last year. Our guards are different from last year's guards. I think we have more specialty positions, in that some of them are really hard to guard off the dribble. Others are really hard to guard when you kick the ball out to them. They're tough from the three-point line. So it's a completely different identity that my staff and I are waking up to every day and trying to learn more about and figure out. And we're just excited for this phase and for this new season to get kicked off.
We'll open up now for questions from our media. For our media, please raise your hand and we'll call on you for those questions. We'll start off with Rose.
Hey, Chanda, this is Rosie Langella from WSFA. How are you?
Hey, Rosie, how is it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Good.
Hey, with 9 newcomers and only, the 3 returners, I mean, chemistry-wise, how do you think the team is getting along? How do you think everybody's gelling together so far?
We've had our ups and downs, and if it were all ups, that's not as good as people might think. We're putting our team in very difficult situations you need the rough to come out, and you need to learn how to handle each other and how to speak to each other. And, we come back and we do team bonding things behind it, but, if you have a goal at practice that everybody has to have 10 rebounds and throughout practice, and everybody's fighting and clawing and trying to hold their own, which is the phase we're in right now, I mean, everything is not smooth, and that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. But I really believe in the end, our culture is going to be great, because we do work at our culture. We have 4 words that our team has chosen that we work at every day, including discipline, respect, dog, and family. And we work and we evaluate those words every day, and those are the things that are bringing us together as our individual goals, and the things we're striving for individually pull us into ourselves, our culture, and our overall goals there pulling us together.
Rose, go ahead with your follow-up.
I also wanted to know, just of those newcomers that you got, it seems like they're experienced players. You have upperclassmen coming in, and so what have you noticed from their experience, their play so far in preseason?
Well, I mean, we have a mix, right? We do have 3 All-American junior college players here. We have a few more junior college players that we got in that were not All-American but could have been All-American. They're really good. And then we have some out of the transfer portal that are, very experienced and mature players. So whereas we want our 3 returners from last year to lead, they understand what we expect. We're enjoying that we have the maturity of these transfer players coming in who are bringing their own moxie and their own leadership ability, and saying, hey, I want to lead this. Hey, I believe in this. I believe this helps win. I want to lead this. And so we're getting that leadership from our former players, but also our new players.
Go ahead, Rosie. You have another one.
I just have one more for you, Chanda. I know you said it was generous for the Sun Belt to pick you guys for second place, but what do you think that says just about you and your coaching staff and the confidence that they have in you guys with this brand new team to make it as far, or just being picked in second?
That's a good question. I think that the coaches in the Sun Belt have come to expect that no matter where our personnel is on the list of how many returning all Sun Belt players we have, or where we finished the year before, I think they've come to realize that we work really hard at things that bring a constant to winning, which is rebounding. We've led the nation in one category or another, led the nation in rebounding, I think, the last 5 years. And so that when you're consistent in things like that, I guess you feel like, hey, we might not all know all the players. We might not be familiar with the players Coach Rigby recruited or has on the team this year, but we know that the things that are staples in their program win. So, I appreciate that.
Let's go over to Adam.
Hey, Coach. This sort of goes off it's on the same subject with what Rose was asking about your team and the makeup of your team. But I also want to point out is that you don't have a single freshman or a single sophomore on your roster. So as a coach, what does that do for you in terms of, you're going to take your team on the road. You're not going to play a home game until December, and you don't have, say, underclassmen on your team. What is that going to be something that helps you as a coach throughout the season, but also during what might be a rigorous non-conference slate, being on the road so much?
Well, my roster is upside down, right? It's not a smooth four from each classification. But if you look back, it's really never been that. I've had a few freshmen on the team every now and then, maybe a sophomore every now and then, but everybody's got to be true to who they are, and I am true to knowing about the junior college player, and I'm true to knowing about like these transfers. So whereas, yes, you go on the road, there are no freshmen, you'd like for them to be learning for future, right, to have these players come back next year and be ready for those situations again. But since we don't have that, we're going to take advantage of the fact that we do have experienced players. We have players like Brianna Jackson, who played at Oklahoma State. We have other transfers that played at other Division I universities who have started years and been in intense situations. And we're going to take that, the good from that they know how to navigate that. And, and then hopefully the players we do have returning will have a big enough voice next year to lead us into those situations next year.
Let's kick it over to Billy.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
Good, Billy.
I was just curious. I have seen a direct correlation with, the women's basketball coaches as a whole with scheduling. Just wanted to talk about, the beginning of your schedule and how you really think that prepares your team for essentially a gauntlet of going through the conference.
Yeah. We have Coach Jennifer Graff, my associate head coach, does the scheduling for us, and she does it with a philosophy in mind of, we want to be prepared for anything if and when we make our ultimate goal and get back in the NCAA tournament. And so when you schedule people like LSU, if you make it through and you can get out of this great conference that we're in and be the one team that gets to go to the NCAA tournament, you're probably not going to draw anybody better than LSU, and it's not just better than, it's the types of team we play. We're going to see a gamut of different styles of basketball, across the board. If you look at our preseason schedule, we play some dribble drive teams. We play some teams that have dominant post players. So in that respect, we're trying to prepare for Sun Belt Conference play because that's a lot of what we see in Sun Belt with 14 teams. The great coaches we have in this league, the great athletes we have in this league, we see the gamut of, wow, this team, we might have to go to App State and really guard the three-point line. Wow, we might have to go guard at JMU and this great basket player. So I think the diversity, our schedule is eclectic, and it prepares us.
Thanks, Coach Rigby. Really appreciate the time today.
Thank you.